While many would agree that honesty is the best policy in any scenarios, others would say that there are certain things you should take to your grave. And the drama is a good example of the latter, with it a dark comedy about what happens when one partner confesses something to the other that's just very hard to comprehend. So in this movie, a couple played by Robert Pattinson and Zendaya on the verge of getting married fall into a major crisis when she reveals a very dark secret from her past. So it all happens at a drunken pre-wedding dinner when the soon-to-be marrieds and their best man, Mamadou Athie, and maid of honor, played by Alana Haim, play a deeply misguided game where they all talk about the worst thing that they've ever done. Now, any of you who'd play a game like this probably wouldn't actually say the worst thing that you've ever done, right? All of them confess something pretty terrible, but Zendaya's Emma casually reveals something so dark that even before the film gets out into the world, it's already launched 1,000 think pieces. Now, for the record, I'm not going to reveal her secret here, even though it happens early in the movie, and will likely be mentioned in about 99.9% of most reviews. On the off chance that this is the only review you check out, you shouldn't have your experience wrecked. However, I should say that she does reveal something hugely messed up, and it leads to Robert Pattinson's Charlie going to pieces, first somewhat comically, but then more darkly as the film goes on. The drama is directed by Dream Scenario's Christopher Bogley, whose defining characteristic is his willingness to provoke. Just by casting the much-beloved Zendaya is itself provocative, as considering the nature of her role, the typical Hollywood thing would have been for her and Pattinson to switch parts. We're used to seeing guys in dark roles like this, but not pretty young women. Bogley doesn't give the audience that kind of easy out, as the fact that she is so pretty and charming is what makes her part have so much of a kick. When we meet them, Emma and Charlie seem like your typical young, sexy Hollywood couple. They're both impossibly good-looking and live a charmed life. He has a dream job as a museum curator, earning a big enough salary that he's able to afford their luxurious wedding. They get along great, have awesome sex, and seem to be heading towards a wonderful life together. But when a secret is revealed, it puts them to the test in a way that neither could have seen coming. Of the two, Zendaya probably has a somewhat smaller part, as Bogley, for much of the film, uses her in a way that really trades off her fame and how much of an aspirational figure she is to some. What would happen if this person that everyone thinks is perfect reveals something so truly unhinged from their past that you could just never get past it? Much of the movie revolves around Pattinson as he comes apart at the seams, not knowing how to process what he's heard or how to reconcile it with the person he still, after everything, loves. Interestingly, I'm probably making the drama sound heavier than it actually is, despite how messed up her secret is, and again, it's very messed up. The film is essentially a comedy, with it almost being Woody Allen-esque in how it deconstructs Pattinson's nebbish character. He's so used to pseudo-intellectualizing everything that, well, when something actually real happens, he just can't deal with it. It's a great performance, with him also quite funny at times as he gets more unhinged as the movie goes along, while also never really losing your sympathy. The film is rounded out by some solid supporting performances, with Alana Haim as Zendaya's thin-skinned bestie, who is the quickest to take the moral high ground in every situation, even if her own secret reveals a stunning lack of empathy, which, to be sure, she shows over and over again as the movie goes on. Athie's Mike is more even-handed of the pair, but he constantly allows himself to be steamrolled by his wife, while never really going to bat for his own feelings or his own friends. Bogley keeps the movie tightly paced with a lot of juicy set pieces that escalate in chaos as the film goes on. While I like Dream Scenario, I found the drama to be a big step up as I empathized more with the characters than I really thought I would have. In that way, it's very much like a European film, with him bringing that kind of sensibility to this American A24 flick. It'll be interesting to see if the drama resonates with viewers, but it's kind of hilarious that A24 is putting it out on Easter weekend as counter-programming to Super Mario Galaxy. I can picture a lot of couples going to see this on the strength of the cast alone and being provoked into much darker, more uncomfortable conversations walking out of this than they would have otherwise. Oh yes, if you think this is a Zendaya and Robert Pattinson romantic comedy, you are dead wrong. If you are thinking of this as a date movie, do make sure that you and your partner are pretty open-minded about things like this and not averse to broaching some pretty uncomfortable topics. That said, I really liked it, and I give it an 8 out of 10.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.